From space, it is a whisper of turquoise against the deep blue of the Pacific, the only living structure visible from the moon. Yet, this colossal entity is built by architects smaller than a fingernail, a sprawling metropolis of life constructed over millennia. It is a world governed by sunlight, tide, and a delicate chemical balance, where every inhabitant plays a role in the grandest construction project on Earth. Now, let's open the field logs and document the truths of this living world. This is the Great Barrier Reef, a living rampart stretching for over 2,000 kilometers along the coast of Queensland. It is not a single wall, but a labyrinth of nearly 3,000 individual reefs and 900 islands, each a distinct neighborhood in a sprawling underwater city-state. The laws here are written in the language of light and chemistry. The currency is energy, harvested from the sun, and the very foundations of the metropolis are built by its most humble citizens. The architect is the coral polyp, a tiny, soft-bodied organism related to jellyfish and anemones. Individually, it is fragile, but living in vast colonies, these polyps construct protective limestone skeletons, building upon the remains of their ancestors, generation after generation. When we analyze this structure, we see it is a masterwork of biological engineering. But the polyp does not work alone. Living within its very tissues is a microscopic algae, the zooxanthellae. This is one of nature's most critical symbiotic relationships. The coral provides the algae with a protected home and the compounds needed for photosynthesis. In return, the algae harnesses the sun's energy, producing the nutrients that feed the polyp and providing the vibrant colors that are the reef's signature. This partnership dictates the reef's very existence. It can only thrive in clear, shallow, sun-drenched waters where light can penetrate to fuel its algal engines. This requirement for light creates the primary rule of the reef, a relentless, vertical competition for real estate. Every surface is a battleground for access to the sun, the ultimate source of power in this underwater world. And upon this living, ever-growing scaffold, a civilization of unparalleled diversity has taken root. Life in the coral metropolis is a cascade of specialization. The very structure of the city, with its infinite crevices, canyons, and sunlit plateaus, has driven an explosion of evolutionary creativity. Here, every citizen has a profession, a role so finely tuned to its environment that its absence would send ripples through the entire system. To understand this world, we must meet its inhabitants. First, there are the gardeners, the parrotfish. Adorned in colors as vibrant as the reef itself, they are a constant, bustling presence. Their most remarkable feature is a powerful beak, formed from fused teeth, which they use not to attack other fish, but to graze. With crunching bites, they scrape algae and dead coral from the reef's surface. This is a vital service. Without the constant pruning by parrotfish and other herbivores, fast-growing algae could overwhelm the slow-growing coral polyps, smothering them and cutting them off from the life-giving sun. But their role doesn't end there. After digesting the edible parts, they excrete the indigestible coral skeleton as fine sand. A single large parrotfish can produce hundreds of kilograms of pristine white sand each year, shaping the geography of the nearby cays and islands. They are not just gardeners, they are landscape artists. Deeper within the reef's network, we find the physicians. At specific locations, known as cleaning stations, an extraordinary ritual unfolds. Large predators, groupers, moray eels, even sharks, who would normally devour smaller fish, queue patiently, mouths agape. They are waiting for the services of the cleaner rasa. This tiny, bold fish swims directly into the mouths and gills of these giants, performing a delicate service. It feeds on dead tissue, parasites, and fungi, healing its clients' wounds and promoting their health. This is a pact of mutualism built on trust. The wrasser gains a meal, and the larger fish receives critical health care. The cleaning station is a testament to the complex social order that governs the reef, a place where the normal laws of predator and prey are temporarily suspended for the good of the community. But the city also has its villains, or so it would seem. The crown-of-thorns starfish is a formidable predator, armed with venomous spines and a voracious appetite for coral. Moving slowly across the reef, it extrudes its stomach over a coral colony, releasing digestive enzymes and absorbing the liquefied polyps, leaving behind a stark white skeleton. In balanced numbers, the starfish is a natural part of the ecosystem, preferring faster-growing corals and thus helping to maintain diversity. But when their populations explode, a phenomenon sometimes linked to nutrient runoff from land, they can decimate vast tracts of the reef, demonstrating the city's vulnerability to internal imbalances. Then there are the majestic, transient citizens, those for whom the reef is not a permanent home, but a vital sanctuary. The giant manta ray, with a wingspan that can exceed 7 meters, glides through the water with an effortless grace. It is a filter feeder, its vast mouth funneling plankton-rich water over its gill plates. For the manta, the reef is a crucial destination, a place to feed, to be cleaned by wrasse, and to socialize. Their presence connects the reef to the wider ocean, reminding us that this world, for all its complexity, is not isolated, but is a critical node in the larger web of marine life. And no tour of the inhabitants would be complete without observing one of the most intimate partnerships on the reef, the clownfish and its sea anemone. The anemone's tentacles carry a powerful sting, a deadly defense against most fish. Yet the clownfish, protected by a specialized mucus layer, makes its home amongst them. It is a fortress of stinging cells. In return for this sanctuary, the clownfish is a fierce defender, chasing away butterfly fish that would prey on the anemone. It also helps to keep the anemone clean and may even lure in prey. This is not just cohabitation, it is a profound codependent relationship, a miniature drama of survival and mutual aid playing out in countless pockets across the reef. From the sand-making parrotfish to the walking epaulet shark that can survive out of water in tidal pools, every creature here is a living solution to an environmental puzzle, a specialist thriving in this vibrant, crowded, and perfectly balanced underwater world. The intricate web of life we have explored, the gardeners, the physicians, the predators, and the partners, exists in a state of breathtakingly delicate equilibrium. This underwater metropolis, built over eons, functions because every citizen fulfills its role, all powered by the foundational partnership between polyp and algae. But this vibrant world, so resilient to natural cycles, is now facing threats on a scale it has never known, pressures that are testing the very limits of its survival. The Grand Connection is one of fragility, and the city is under siege. The primary threat arrives as an invisible wave of heat. As global climate patterns shift, rising sea temperatures push the coral's symbiotic relationship to its breaking point. When the water stays too warm for too long, the coral polyps become stressed and expel the zooxanthellae living in their tissues. This is coral bleaching. The city loses its color, turning a ghostly white. But this is not a cosmetic issue. It is a sign of mass starvation. The coral loses its primary food source and, without its partner, will eventually die, leaving behind a barren limestone graveyard. At the same time, the very chemistry of the ocean is changing. Increased carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is being absorbed by the sea, leading to ocean acidification. This process lowers the water's pH, making it more corrosive. For the reef, this is a catastrophic sabotage of its primary industry. It robs the coral polyps and countless other shelled organisms of the carbonate ions they need to build their skeletons. The city's architects are finding their building materials are dissolving, making it harder to grow, to repair damage, and to maintain the very structure upon which this entire world depends. This fragile kingdom, a hotspot of biodiversity that nurtures a quarter of all marine species and protects coastlines from the ocean's fury, is facing an existential crisis. Its fate is a reflection of our own. The health of this underwater world is a clear and unambiguous indicator of the health of our global environment. The Great Barrier Reef is not a separate, distant wonder, but a vital organ of the living planet. Its vibrant colors are a sign of planetary health, its bleaching a fever warning we cannot afford to ignore. To study it is to read a living history of our world, and to protect it is to invest in the stability of our own future.